Today it's time to do a 3S flight on my E-Flite Cirrus SR22T. I mean, I digged it very much on 4S, but let's head outside and try 3S in this lovely bird. So even like a little bit of rougher grass, this Cirrus just handles fantastic. So I have a 3S 2200 milliamp Spektrum smart battery inside, 30C. It's placed more or less just right on the battery tray, just a little bit more forward compared then to when I fly this on a 4S battery. And even with the 3S battery, you do have a really nice flying RS airplane. I do miss a little bit of the last bit of power to do things, but as this plane, excels at slow flying, it's just so well controlled. That's why I'm flying so low also. I don't have to worry. So 3S in this Cirrus just works fantastic if you're more like a slow fly pilot or just making scale flying. 3S is just more than enough. Some touch and go operation, and surprisingly enough, even this nose gear, then all the grass hops I've done, it just survived perfectly fine. So and as this one flares and glides so nice, I suspect that the nose wheel will really last a long time. It's also a really beautiful looking RS plane with LED lights, which are really difficult to see during daylight. But it's a nice addition, and I think, all RS planes should actually have LED lights, navigation lights, because it makes them so easier to orientate in the sky. And even the appearance of them looks much better. So please, all the manufacturers, put some sort of LED lights, even if it's just like a nose landing light. Have some sort of light on your RS airplane, because it makes them so much more fun to fly. And a while ago I purchased the E-Flite Commander MPD, and it doesn't feature any LED lights, and that's a really a negative for that RS airplane, because it would have been so nice to have LED lights on that RS airplane. So here comes a touch and go then, or touch and bounce. So if you have like a kind of a too steep angle of attack or just drop too fast, this Cirrus will bounce. So it's not really a huge problem, but it doesn't look too pretty. So it does bounce just a little bit. And the thing is, I would really like to see this plane with floats, just as I would like to see the RV7 or even the Commander with floats, because I think float flying and the appearance of an RC plane when you have floats on them, they look just super great. So please, E-Flite and all other manufacturers too, at least the ability to put floats on almost all your RC airplanes. But this Cirrus then just excels at slow flying. It's just fantastic RC airplane. I was a little bit skeptical to purchase this RC airplane, but it is totally, just excellent flying RC airplane, and it looks just so fantastic with the right features as well. So I'm happy I purchased this RC airplane. This is with almost no power. Just touch and go. So it doesn't get stuck in the grass like some other RC airplanes might get. It just keeps on rolling. So I think this is a really appropriate way to fly this Cirrus then on 3S. Just going low, quite slow, do touch and goes, just experience the nice slow flying, gliding capabilities. You know, run on the ground a really good way also. And it doesn't feature a snappy roll rate, and it does become even less snappy when you have a 3S battery. But as far as the usual normal round of aerobatics, it surely can do it. You might just miss a little bit power to do speedier things or sharper turns. But maybe that's not what this plane is about. It's about the slow flying and just nice, amazing look on the RC plane.
3, 2, 1.
Timer's up. I haven't experienced any alarm from the Avian ESC, but it's just best to get this one down then. And let's just drop the throttle and flare at the end. I think 3S works just fine in this SR22T. I mean, the thing is with 3S on most RC airplanes, when you compare 3S or 4S, I think with 3S it's much easier to fly an RC airplane in like scale manner. So it's true for this one as well. And I didn't really had a bad flying time when I put the 3S in this one. I think it just handles great. Although I'm the guy who just want to have more power, so I do prefer 4S, but it was totally enjoyable to fly 3S, and I could do, you know, most things without any problems, and I still had power to spare. But you know, with 4S, as usual, you have the ability to just push out of trouble where you might end up you know, doing some stall situation. You can actually just push the power more with the 4S battery. But I mean, 3S battery on this Cirrus SR22T is just totally enjoyable.